All right, take 4. Peace, y'all. It's October 5, Wednesday. Well, I've got about an hour to church time, so I think that's why I keep stumbling over myself. I'm trying to get this done and get something to eat before church. Bringing you a little bit mid-process here. We're working on the backrest piece, right? How did we get to this point? Well, obviously, you remember we had the piece of cardboard just on the backrest, right? It was like this. Something like this here, right? And this as well, right? Had none of this was here, and all we did, folks, is just add to what we had there. This is actually the back side. This goes the other way, but we just added cardboard. We pushed it out, and we took the marker and ran it down the profile of the chain guard. Trimmed it off, did it again and again, trim and again and trim and again until it fit flush top to bottom. Because really all you're getting is from here to where the marker is touching. So you're getting 3/8 of an inch, 1/2 of an inch at a time. But it's just part of it. You want to be able to get that nice surface because we want it tight. Right, here's the original piece here, and you can see it comes all the way down. I'll just highlight the edge of it there. Right, so this being our original backrest piece, we added this bit right all the way down here. Then we added these on, and on an angle, so when they're mounted, they're going to be flat level, right? Because a fashion show out there. Added another piece to the top to get the height so we didn't have chain lube flying all over our nice fancy suit. Then we came over to this side and we started doing this side. I knew I wanted to be able to roll and bend a little guard for the brake rotor. Wanted a little extra something from here to here instead of it just stopping. I wasn't worried about getting into the tire, but I didn't want a tech man or anybody else worried about it and give me a hard time. So we went ahead and just added that extra kick to it there. And that completes the whole package there. Now what did we do here? Why did I put this deal here in here? I'm gonna tell you why. I like most people, in a lay down, your chin is on your chest, your helmet is sitting here. You see this vertebrae right here between the upper part of your back, hope you can see that, and the lower part of your neck. That thing, it sticks out when your head is bent, right? So it's a tender spot for me. So on the fiberglass seat that I took out of this cart, that was a form-fitted seat. Before I started taking the fiberglass part off the foam, I carved something out very similar to this into the foam, rounded all the edges, then laid the glass. So the seat had a big relief in it, and that's right, I filled it with foam. And it always treated me nice, right? Driving the Yamadog cart at Gingerman, it didn't have any relief to it, but it had 4 inches of foam. And it still contacted enough to make that bone, that knob there, tender until Thursday, Friday the following week. So we don't want that. We don't want to do that. So we had Rich mark with his thumb, right on that knob when I was laying in the cart, and he marked it out, and we found the center, and we decided to take that much out of it. And we transferred everything when we cut, and that's what we come up with. Now I know what you're thinking. What about this here? Well, we're going to have to remove it. What I'll do is I'll mark it, and we'll cut this tube out. We'll put we'll make 2 pieces, dog bones, basically, 3/4 radius, little pieces of flat stock that are 3/4 high, 1.5 inches, right? 3/4 and 3/4, because we're going to move it back exactly the width of the tube. So 1.5 inches long end to end with a 3/4 radius on each side. You follow me? We'll weld it onto the tube, and then we'll bring it up in here, and we'll have Rich tack it on. We'll take it off. He can weld it on real good. All this is going to do is give us a perch for our bottle, and give us some foam to hold up the back of our helmet just like our other seat, right? Hold up the back of our helmet so we don't have to keep pulling it down. We can see straight ahead because we're going to be sitting down low. We don't want to be looking up at the stars, you know. We want to be able to see where we're going, and we don't want our vertebrae getting the daylights beat out of it. So that's the next best thing. Now you're thinking, oh, gee, isn't this going to, No, your shoulder blades are going to be here. The rest of your back here, it's going to be filled with foam, and this is all going to have foam on it. So it'll actually have a void to it. Best way I can explain it is a bunch of years ago, Road America, I got an electrical burn on the side of my hip right here, where my seat strut broke. And the reason we knew it was an electrical burn is because my ignition was grounded to the same area where my seat strut was welded or whatever to the cart. And I don't know if it was harmonics, because I had an ignition pop and an ignition problem with the engine the whole race, but I ran the whole race anyway. Did it hurt? Yes, it did. But we were, the first 3-4 laps, we were racing for the lead with 2 other guys. So, you know, it is what it is. That's a long story. We'll stay away from that. But what I did to have, once that started to heal, it was still super tender till today. If I jump in the truck and that thing bangs into the seat belt buckle, it'll light me up, light me right up. Because there was no skin left. It was, when it was all done, it was just meat. All the skin was gone right through to my meat. And then it had to grow back. So the skin still today, years and years later, is still not as thick as the skin that got burned off. So I made what is commonly known as a corn pad. Big old pad, let me be careful, that I made to go here. I'm trying to hold you so I don't shut you off. It went here, and then it had a big hole in the middle. And I'd tape it. I put my, get my underdrawers on, tape it to my leg, and then pull my suit on. And so that sensitive stuff wouldn't touch my seat. The pad would touch the seat, but my sensitive area was in a great big void, like a corn in a corn pad for your toes or wherever. So that's basically what we're doing here, is just creating a void so that sensitive deal won't make contact with anything and therein not give us any trouble. Yeah, we're almost there. I wanted to bring you in midway through so you could see how we come to this point and why. And we'll finish up here with this chain guard. This is profile. This is basically what I did is came up with a profile. I knew we had to come up so far to be able to bolt it on. I knew my hoses, my 2 hoses on top of each other, needed to be separated with the piece we've got underneath here. It comes like this, right? So we've encapsulated the hoses, kept it out of the gear and the chain that are here. So we knew it had to come up so far. We knew it had to come over to give us the shoulder width that we need across here, right? And so we came up with, and the height that we wanted. So we came up with a profile. And then we went ahead and bent this out to here, right? We bent that one piece. You saw that. Then, okay, we started piecing it in. I made this bit here that went up to the squared corner, right? This tied in as well. As you can see, we've added to this at the top. Sorry about the camera. So we could add some more, length to be able to put a brake in it and cover up everything there. And then we got in it, we tried it, and that thing was just hitting us in the back of the bicep, and this wasn't going to work. So we just drew some lines as close to the clutch shaft bolt that keeps the shaft from coming out, as close to that on this portion here as we could, without actually contacting it with this surface here. So we drew our lines, we cut it out, and then we started bending up this piece, this beautiful piece here. And this was interesting. This is what separates the men from the boys when it comes to making templates. Hang on a minute and I'll throw you on something here so you can get a quick look of what we did. We got the big wide lens, so you should be able to see up here. It isn't just a flat surface, right? It actually has bend and sweep at the same time. So it goes this way and gets twisted at the same time. And when I worked at the old prototype shop, This was a benefit that the fitters use to fit pieces of section or whatever to a gauge. They had bend and sweep to them, and you had to have a good eye, a good hands, like a body man, and some wherewithal, some aptitude to be able to bend or put brakes in flat material to make it bend and sweep at the same time. It isn't just straight bends. So praise the Lord. It wasn't something I taught myself or they taught me there. They threw me in to see if I could do it, and boom, I could do it. So Robert got a raise and he got moved to the fitting department and got out of the best boy department, if you know what I mean, with sweeping the floor and doing all the other stuff. So that's how I got that's how I get into all this. And folks, I'm telling you, it's not that tough. If you can see it in your head, if you can see it in 3 dimensions, you can make it in 2 dimensions and make it 3-dimensional. It's really, I don't know how else to explain it. It's not that tough. But at least for me, if you practice, you can get good at it too. There you go. I just wanted to bring you some of this piece here before we got it all done and fancied it all up. And you say, well, gee, he didn't explain to us how all that works. So now you understand it. We started with that one piece of cardboard. We just kind of pushed things out from there with pieces of cardboard, used the profile of what we were going to attach to, and kept cutting it and trimming it and moving it out until it got nice and flush all the way top to bottom. And just added bits and pieces here and there until we got a template. We transferred it to aluminum, draw it out with a marker. Over to Rich's house we went, and we cut it on the saw. So that's it for the 5th. I got to get in and grab me a little grub, and then sit down with Cher, and we're going to do church on the internet like we do 3 times a week. And we'll get out here tomorrow and get this bit cut off, get our little pieces of flat stock made up to fit in there. We get that stuff, I can tack it together myself, and then we'll bring you back and show you when it's all done how we did it and why. But that's it for the 5th. Godspeed, God bless y'all. We are praying for you. Pray for us too. We need it. as well as the rest of the world. Hang in there, y'all. It'll get better. You know what I mean. Right, Glenda?